growing up with my dad on the road singing and in the ministry and, carrying the gospel, singing gospel music, and just growing up saturated in that, I guess, it was like I never could get away from it, and not in like a sense that I wanted to, but it was just like, it was everywhere I went. It was in everything I did. My dad, I literally went to sleep every night listening to gospel music, and so, it was just part of who I was. And so I've never really been apart from God in a sense to where I've never not believed. I've never been an unbeliever. I've never said that God wasn't real, because I've always known. It's always been like obvious to me. My dad did not surrender to the ministry until I was 12. I was 12 when he surrendered to the ministry. And it was weird for him to be a preacher now, to have like a title and be labeled a preacher. But growing up with that from like early teen years on, and him being a preacher, it was hard as far as like trying to keep, it was hard to keep the persona of a ministry family and also to try to be a normal teenager and a normal preteen and high schooler and all that. But at times, I played the church game. Like, everybody would say, oh, you're a perfect little church girl, you don't ever do anything. And so you try to like prove that you're not this cookie cutter Christian that does everything perfect and does. So you try to like be normal but be right by God at the same time. And a lot of the times that bit me in the tail, and it came back around to slap me in the forehead and say, what are you doing? When I really gave my life wholly to the Lord, the struggle that put me in the position to have to make that choice, not have to make that choice, but to decide upon myself that, it's now or never. I have to make a decision. I have to either live for God or not. And I've always said since that first time I gave my life to Jesus that I didn't want to live apart from him. All of it started with, it's a very familiar testimony. It's a very similar story to a lot of girls and a lot of people. I got into a wrong relationship, and a wrong relationship will either make or break your eternity. It's either gonna make you realize that that's not where you need to be and you'll completely turn away, or it's gonna make you stay in complacency and completely veer off to the left and never turn back. In my own life, how it happened for me, which was the good way. And so, I'm not grateful for the situation, but I'm glad that I got that out of my way and that I don't have to deal with it anymore. But getting into a wrong relationship at 17 years old, I gave myself completely to a guy rather than giving myself completely to God and giving everything I am and, everything that I have to the only one who deserves it all. I was 18 and it was here. It was at this church, and you noticed that I was like hungry, and it was like a thing. And so you came to me, and it was a huge moment in my life. And I remember where I was standing, and I can remember what I was wearing, and it was just such a defining moment. There's no other way to say it. It's what made me me in Christ. It's what made me me. There's more to this life. There's more that you can have. There's more. There's always more. There's never a stopping point. Where you stop is where you stop. There's never an end to God. I don't think I've ever really even said this out loud to realize how different I am. But I am. I'm different, and I can't put it into words how grateful I am. I can honestly say that I am completely different. And it's all because I opened myself up and was vulnerable to Jesus, and not to just anybody who would show me attention in the ways that maybe I shouldn't have accepted. I am Karlee Tackett, and I love Jesus because he made me new.